Okay, everybody. Today's not as exciting of a day, like you can see, for me. On September 11th, I lost my dad. And in that, I lost more than my dad. I probably lost one of my best friends. But, as he always would say, life goes on, and you got to keep going. So, I just wanted to bring everybody's attention to it, that, life does go on. And through my dad is the reason why I'm here. The reason why I do what I do, because before I started doing this, I had a bass boat, of course. I fished a lot. I was young, dumb. I had my hair on fire, and did what I did. And I blew that motor up, and I came to him and I said, "Well, the motor's junk, Dad." And I said, "I'm done fishing." He's like, "Well, I got an option for you. I can give you your life insurance policy. It's not what I would do, but I'll give it to you so you can fix your outboard, and you can go back to fishing." And of course, young and dumb, I said, "Well, yeah, let's do it. I can get some money and I can go forward and do what I do." But at the same time, he said it's not what I'd recommend, and I would probably recommend just getting rid of it and think about maybe getting into working on them so you can afford to fix them. And at that point, it was like, it didn't sink in. It didn't sink into what I should have been doing, but it did sink in over time. I cashed out my life insurance policy. I do have more now, but that's down the road. But he was right there giving me the advice right there that if that's something you really want to do and you can't afford to fix it, you should probably learn how to do that. And that's why I started doing this, because I couldn't afford to fix it. I wanted one. I wanted to go fast. I wanted to be one of them people. And he always taught me, if you can't afford to fix it and pay for it, then you shouldn't own it. So that's why I started doing this. So I ended up working for this company, Team Marine, for quite some time. And then I had the opportunity to buy it. And when that came, I had that opportunity to purchase it. I got the loan to buy it. And when I got the loan, of course, you needed the money down. And I didn't have the money to do that neither, because I had married and I had kids, and of course you don't expect to have to make that kind of adjustment. So once again, I went crawling back to my dad, and once again, he saved the day. He didn't hesitate. He gave me the money, and he said, "Don't worry about it, and make sure you just take care of yourself." And through that, you dig up inspiration, and when I say inspiration, you dig up they're always there for you. You need to make sure that you're successful for them. So I tried to make it that I was successful. I tried to make it so he could see that his investment was a success. You learn to go on, and like I said, you stay on track with life. But when you're on track with life, you have to continue to communicate with the ones that are important. So this place I love. This place is obviously my dream, but I never was disconnected from my dad. He was, like I said, he's a friend. He was Sunday mornings going to get breakfast, always giving me that little bit of wisdom. When he died, it was like I thought I was ready. I thought it was like I can handle it, and I am going to handle it, because that's what we do. We move on. We push forward. And you just gotta remember that if you're at home, you're sitting at home and you're seeing this, and there's that disconnection with your mom or your dad or both of them, you gotta reconnect. because I personally had a great relationship with my dad. I don't think we ever argued one time. We fished, we hunted, we worked on stuff. He taught me this stuff. He didn't teach me outboards, but when I was 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, I was working with him at his store. I was fixing stuff. I was helping him the best of my knowledge, the best that I could do. I was with my dad probably more than anybody in my family, right next to my mom. And you have to have that. The time that you don't have, when it suddenly stops like it did for me, it hits you. And I had a lot of time with him. So if you're disconnected, make the attempt, because you don't get it back. And obviously I'm not going to get it back, but I had awesome times. Sorry I couldn't hold together, but it's tough. But in the end, you got to keep going. And that's what I hope everybody does. It just keeps going and live free, live happy, because that's what he did. I mean, he loved life. He loved everything about life. He loved this place. He loved everything. I mean, even the people that were problems in this world and problems in this country, he didn't care. He just moved on and enjoyed breathing and enjoyed fishing and hunting and enjoyed the people. And back to the people, for everybody that sent, text messages. My phone was on fire after when I wasn't here. I mean, it was crazy. People that I don't even know. So it was obviously some of you people that subscribed that sent messages through Facebook, and I had some messages from Texas. I had messages from Missouri and Kentucky, and people I don't even know. And then of course all my local customers that just were unbelievable. Family, friends that just kept sending everything, and we're still getting stuff today. And I mean, we're trying to move on, and like I said, we're going to move on. But it's unbelievable the support you guys gave me and you gave my family. That is truly, truly a blessing. Anybody that knows me knows it takes a lot to get me to this point. I'm pretty open-minded with everything that happens. I'm pretty easygoing. It takes a lot to beat me down, but it beat me down. I mean, he won, but in the end, like I told my kids, he was still teaching. And we actually had a conversation the Sunday before he passed. We were out to breakfast, and I'd asked him, I said, how are you doing? He's like, I'm not doing too good. And I said, well, what the hell's going on? And he told me, and he's just like, I'm just not me. He was ailing from a hip injury, and he was scheduled to get a new hip. And my dad was one that loved to help. And that's basically what he said. He goes, I can't help. I can't just be me. I can't do what I want to do. And I said, well, we'll get you a new hip. And he told me, and then he questioned me. He's like, well, why aren't you fishing anymore with Terry and that type of stuff? And I said, well, it's because we're too busy. I'm too busy. He's busy. And he looked at me and he said, busy for what? And I said, well, I got to keep my business going. He said, yeah, you got to keep your business going. He goes, but you got to make time for your friends, and you got to make time for your family. Because in the end, what did you miss? And he's exactly right. What have I missed? But we missed a ton. Terry and I don't even fish together anymore. I don't even go bass fishing. I got 4 boats or 5 bass boats, and I'm building another one, another 2 or 3 or whatever we're doing. But I'm gonna have them, and I'm gonna go fishing. And like I said before, the people he touched, and it's a lot. It's more than what we knew. I mean, it's right down to the people at the gas station at the BP where he went to festival. I was eating at Features the other night here, a local place up in Holman. 4 people came up to me there and were just like, 2 of them I knew, 2 of them I didn't know. It's crazy. It's crazy the people he touched. The customers that sent messages saying, I just talked to your dad last week for the first time. I could have talked to him for days. And that's just the way my dad was. He made sure that, he left an impact just with his ability to care and his soft look on life. And when I say soft look on life, to enjoy it. To enjoy what you do and enjoy your family and friends. Because if you don't enjoy going to work and don't enjoy coming home, well, then there's something wrong. You got to change it. So, like I said, I guess in closing, thank you so much for all the support. And if you're disconnected, get reconnected. Go to your mom and dad's and, just figure it out. Figure out what you got to do to reconnect, because when it happens, I don't care if you're disconnected or not, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And it may hurt more because you didn't spend that time. You can't get time back. You can't get seconds. You can't get minutes. You can't get hours. You can't get those back. And I'm thankful I still got my mom to go over to, and we chat all the time. We chat all the time about everything, and that woman is a rock. That woman's as solid as this concrete we're sitting on right here. She keeps going, keeps pushing through, and that's him telling her just to keep going in life, because he wouldn't want us to stop. He wants us to enjoy life. Like I said, if you're disconnected, just go reconnect. Enjoy life, and make sure it's with family. So, thank you so much for just listening.